and welcome to ONTV News. I'm Megan Peters.
And I'm Sheryl Coonan. Orion Township's Wildwood Amphitheater is quickly becoming the place to be to see live music throughout the summer months. Recently, the venue was the site of the second annual Wildwood Music Festival. On Saturday, July 9th, a dozen bands performed throughout the day, with the Beta Band kicking things off at 10:30 a.m. and the Boa Constrictors bringing things to a close at 8 p.m. Other performers included Bands of Brothers, We Three and She, and Rochester's School of Rock. In addition to live music, there were family-friendly activities and games, food, and refreshments.
This has been tremendous. Imagine a beautiful sunny summer day, you bring your favorite lawn chair out, and every half an hour to an hour you get to hear another local band play. It's super exciting live music, and we've got great food. We've got grilled hamburgers, Jets Pizza, Buffalo Wild Wings, cold drinks, and of course the Lions Club is doing the pig roast. So this is a great day at Wildwood. Good music, good food, just a really good time to be outside.
In 2013, the event was created to be a showcase for local talent, but in its second year, organizers partnered with the Lake Orion Lions Club. Admission to the event was free to the public, but the Lions Club raised money from a beer tent and a pig roast, serving pork dinners and sandwiches.
Our main goal is to help blind and hearing impaired people, and we have a number of people in our own community that we do help. In fact, there's 2 blind people here today that we have been supporting and continue to give them education. But locally, our biggest thing that we do is our Christmas basket program, and we feed over 250 families during Christmas. That's all in Lake Orion. They have to live in Lake Orion.
Just enjoy the show.
This is terrific. It was built in 2010. We're really excited that the community the Orion Township decided to put up the money to create this because it's a wonderful venue. The sound quality is good. The hill is fun to sit on and watch music. It's really an asset for our community.
Not only do festival organizers plan on making this an annual event held on the second Saturday of August, but the Lake Orion Lions hope the partnership with the Wildwood Music Festival is a permanent one, and you can expect to see them serving up pork dinners and beer next year. If you'd like to get involved with next year's event, visit wildwoodfestival.com for more information.
Celebrating its 26th year of existence, the Motorsports Hall of Fame of America held its 2014 induction ceremony at the Fillmore in downtown Detroit. Past inductees representing some of the biggest names in racing were on hand to welcome 7 new inductees. The lavish ceremony was emceed by former race car driver and racing commentator David Hobbs. The Flying Dutchman Arie Luyendyk was inducted in the open wheel category. Luyendyk enjoyed success in the 24 Hours of Daytona and 12 Hours of Sebring, but it's best known for his victories at the Brickyard.
Just all the people around you that help you, and I think we've all had that as drivers, even as businessmen. There's always somebody who is your mentor, and there's no other way that I would have been able to do what I did all those years in Indianapolis and other races. But I'd like to thank everybody. I wouldn't want to thank you for being here. You've been invited just like me, but it's just a great honor to be inducted into the Motorsports Hall of Fame. It's something that almost closes a chapter in my life. I've obviously retired from racing, and this is probably one of the last victories I will have in racing. Thank you very much.
In the motorcycle category, Ricky Graham was recognized for his 39 Grand National victories and 3 AMA Grand National Championships. Graham is widely considered one of the most talented dirt track racers ever.
He loved motorcycle racing, but he loved his fans, and he appreciated the people that believed in him. And I do want to make a special note and just thank his friends, Jeff, Anthony, and Danny, for being here, and Jeff, 2 Jeffs, that flew out from California, all my family, but special, those are people that believed in him and really helped him to get through a lot of those hard times. So Ricky G, RG as we called him, is a racer, a champion, and from this night forward, a Motorsports Hall of Famer. Thank you for honoring his memory.
Legendary drag racer Don the Snake Prudhomme was on hand to present Raymond Beadle for induction. As an owner and driver of drag racing funny cars, Beadle's Blue Max cars won 3 consecutive NHRA titles from 1979 to 1981, as well as 3 IHRA championships.
So I'm sorry Raymond's not here tonight. He's a little under the weather, and I talk to him quite often. And seriously, he really wanted to be here, and he doesn't like going to a lot of deals, I can tell you. But this Hall of Fame was, I know he's real disappointed that he's not here. But his son Ryan's here tonight to accept. But I want to tell you, he was the luckiest guy I ever met in my life, beating me like that. Yeah, I'm still, yeah, he's an amazing guy. You know, I've been beat by quite a few guys and never really walked away from it liking it much. But there was something about Raymond that was special, and we remain buddies today.
NASCAR legend Rusty Wallace visited Victory Circle 55 times and in the process took home the 1989 Winston Cup. He was presented for induction by the captain, Roger Penske.
I want to thank Roger for everything he's done for my career. He's been a real mentor to me. He's taught me about the car business. He's taught me how to treat myself, how to treat people on the racetrack and off the racetrack, and just been a real wonderful leader in my life. And anytime I got a concern or a question, I can always pick up the phone and call Roger and run it past him and get his opinion. It's pretty good when you got a guy that's been that successful, that really cares about motorsports and cares about your career, cares about your family, that it's just a phone call away. And with that, I don't want to run my speech too long, because when I did the one for the NASCAR Hall of Fame, it went 22 minutes. And they said it's too long. But again, thank you very much for being inducted into the Hall of Fame. I'm very, very humbled and very, very excited, and thank you very much.
Other inductees included Oli Bardal in the powerboats category, John Bishop in the sports car category, and Marshall Teague in the historic category, who became known as King of the Beach in his fabulous Hudson Hornet. The Motorsports Hall of Fame was found a new home and will be moving to the World Center of Racing. The move will coincide with the 2016 completion of the Daytona Rising project, a $400 million reimagining of the Daytona International Speedway.
The nation's largest car show took place on Saturday, August 16th, although classic car owners began cruising Woodward earlier in the week. Things officially kicked off on Friday night in Ferndale, where it all began 20 years ago. ONTV's Joe Johnson has the story.
On Friday, August 15th, dignitaries gathered on 9 Mile Road in Ferndale for a ribbon-cutting ceremony to officially kick off the 20th annual Woodward Dream Cruise. Ferndale Mayor Dave Coulter welcomed visitors to the city where it all began.
You know, it is still personal to a lot of us who knew the people who started it, Nelson House and the group of people who actually did it as a fundraiser. So it's still very personal to us. We remember the beginning. You know, it started as a fundraiser for a soccer field, and people thought, you know, here's a good idea. Maybe we can raise a few bucks. We'll get some of the restaurants to donate some money. Beyond anybody's wildest dreams that it would turn in pretty quickly, actually, to what it did. Nobody really had any idea of what we were creating back then.
The mayor introduced Ralph Haney, who teamed up with the late Nelson House in 1995 to launch the first Dream Cruise to help fund a local soccer field for kids.
Like everybody keeps telling me, how could it have been 20 years? It could not be 20 years since you started putting this together, and it is just absolutely fantastic, a great time. I thank the Dream Cruise Committee for asking me to come down. City of Ferndale, this is where it started, no matter what anybody tells you. 13 in Woodward is great, but this is where it happened, this is where it started.
During the majority of the event's existence, Ford Motor Company has been a major sponsor in Ferndale, turning 9 Mile Road near Woodward into Mustang Alley.
Big thank you to the City of Ferndale for all of their work to make this happen. 20 years, that's amazing. And this is our 16th year here on Mustang Alley. This year, we have the most ever cars registered. We're going to have 1,200 Mustangs out here. 1,200. So make sure you come down tomorrow and take a look and vote for your favorite Mustangs. This is an absolute honor for the Ford Motor Company and Team Mustang. We're excited to be here and to celebrate our 50 years of Mustang. And make sure you come down and check out our all-new 2015 Mustang while you're here. It's just amazing, and we're really excited to be able to bring that to the public.
Following the opening remarks, dignitaries gathered near Woodward for a ribbon-cutting ceremony.
Here we go!
And with that, the 2014 Woodward Dream Cruise was officially underway. As per tradition, a parade of emergency vehicles ventured out onto Woodward for a ceremonial lap.
It's an event for the people. I think cars are in our DNA in Detroit, but the Dream Cruise just touched a nerve, our car nerve, right? We come out here and we celebrate the car, and it doesn't cost a cent to put your lawn chair on the side of the road and watch cars go by. It's just a classic Detroit event.
In Ferndale, this is Joe Johnson reporting for ONTV News.
Thanks, Joe. We're going to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll have a special report from Tiffany Elise on Orion Township's recent acquisition of Camp Agawam. You're watching ONTV News. Stay tuned.
As the summer begins to wind down, enjoy the transition into fall by loading up the family and taking a trip to Friendship Park for Barn Days on Saturday, September 13th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. There will be plenty of activities for the whole family, including a petting farm, carnival games, inflatables, farm fresh produce, and a wagon ride. But be forewarned, you may encounter some Yankees and rebels who don't know the Civil War is over. The cost is $5 per vehicle, and proceeds help fund Orion Township's concerts and other events throughout the year. For more information, you can call 248-391-0304, extension 305, or visit oriontownship.org.
Welcome back to ONTV News. I'm Sheryl Coonan.
And I'm Megan Peters. Orion Township saved Camp Agawam from falling into the hands of developers so the outdoor adventures can continue in Lake Orion. ONTV's Tiffany Elise was able to spend some time on the property that has meant so much to Orion's youth over the past several decades.
After Orion Township's purchase of Camp Agawam on August 4th, this long-lost gem will soon be found again.
Purchase price was pretty steep, but it is far less than the assessed value of the property, which is $1,025,000 is what we paid.
The Boy Scout camp was founded in Lake Orion in 1918 by the Pontiac Council and has been running strong up until its shutdown in 2012.
I had heard that the camp was going to be sold by the Boy Scouts of America, and I thought it would be a real tragedy to have this real gem of our community just be apportioned and developed into another subdivision or something.
We were able to explore the camp in all its beauty with its caretaker, Nick Carr.
My favorite thing, honestly, has been working with all the volunteers who've made all of this possible. I've had really good relationships with a lot of the volunteers that take care of the properties of the various Boy Scout camps and who've been very dedicated and loyal supporters of Camp Agawam for many, many years.
After sharing photos and stories, we learned that there are about 135 acres of land and half a mile of shoreline, with over 9,000 scouts and volunteers coming to the camp each and every year.
I'm happy with the opportunity I've gotten to serve as the ranger and then the caretaker here. It's been very rewarding for me, and I just thank the scouts and all the people who've supported the camp.
The future of Camp Agawam is still unknown at this point, but one thing that we are sure of is this piece of history will be preserved.
The sound of horns filled the air Friday, August 1st during the 11th annual Big Rig Gig.
All trucks are set up, are all fully open so kids can run through, see what it's like to be in the front seat and the back seat.
They learn a lot about the emergency response teams and who they are, what they look like, what their vehicles look like.
It takes place every year and includes dozens of emergency rescue vehicles, all there to make kids more familiar with our community heroes.
Get to interact with everybody and the kids and everything as they walk through, and try not to get them too scared of the ambulance, because they are scared of the ambulance, unfortunately. And you know, if they want to go in and tour the ambulance, we let them walk through it, lay on the cot, do whatever. So we try to make it as easy and as comfortable for them, so if by chance they do get hurt, it's a lot easier for mom and dad.
The event began in 2003 and came about after Lake Orion's own Jennifer Vesna was inspired by her family.
The idea came about is because I had a boy, my first child was a boy, and he loved trucks. And I was at a conference with other Parks and Rec people, and they were talking about this event that they had where they had trucks come out. So I thought, wow, I have to do that.
They get bigger and better with every go-round, but what makes this event so much fun?
Well, it could be the helicopter that just landed a few minutes ago, or it could be, the SWAT truck. Might be the SWAT truck, or it could be Tim Hortons passing out free frozen hot chocolate, or B-Dubs passing out free chicken. Could be a lot of things.
All proceeds will help cover the cost of free Lake Orion events such as the Concert in the Park series and the Bike Rodeo. If you'd like more information, visit www.oriontownship.org.
On Saturday, August 2nd, residents from northern Oakland County gathered in the village of Oxford to celebrate the second annual Lone Ranger Day. The Lone Ranger first appeared in a 1933 radio show on WXYZ Detroit. From 1941 to 1954, he was voiced by Brace Beamer, a longtime resident of Oxford. The event was filled with family-friendly fun, including live entertainment, carnival games, a classic car show, and of course the day culminated with a Lone Ranger parade. Families lined M24 from the Oxford Marketplace Shopping Center to Fire Station 1 to watch as some exciting participants marched in the parade. One of the big hits at this year's parade was the Cowboy Action Shooting Group out of Lapeer. Using all pre-1900 weapons and costumes, they compete in various shooting competitions and shows around Michigan.
We're here to promote cowboy action shooting, both at the state level and at Lapeer County Sportsman's Club in Attica. Cowboy action shooting is a three-gun sport. We use pistols, rifle, and shotgun, all of a pre-1900 design. And of course, as you can see, we have to dress up like cowboys as well. I think it's just hearkening back to those days when you had good and you had bad. And also, it's fun to get out and show people what we do as far as a shooting sport versus a lot of what they hear in the news.
The parade is currently airing in its entirety on ONTV. Visit www.orionontv.org and check out our program guide for airtimes.
The LOHS varsity football team participated in the first ever Oakland Activities Association Media Day on Friday, August 8th. The event was hosted by Rochester High School and gave the players and coaches a chance to speak with the media, as well as mingle with their fellow conference contenders. Media Day was conceived by Rochester Athletic Director Luke Beach as a way to give the OAA student athletes a unique and valuable experience while reinforcing the importance of positive representation of oneself, family, community, and team.
As with everybody has said, our players have done a great job in the offseason. I'm very excited about this football team. I think we're still a little bit young in terms of experience. But we do return to the set. We saw extensive action on the defensive side of the ball last year. Another 4 coming back offensively.
Each team was invited to the podium to discuss their upcoming season and introduce a few key players to the media. The Dragons head coach Chris Bell spoke of his excitement for the upcoming season despite his team being a little bit young in terms of inexperience.
We're a bit bigger up front than we've been. Allow us to get back to some of that physical style of play that we like to play up there. We haven't done a lot of talking either in the sense that we're real proud of how we played football last year. We didn't play at the standard that we set for ourselves. It's been our focus in the offseason. All I can tell you is that I love my team.
Joining Coach Bell at the podium were seniors Logan Shadiah, Jack Luby, Zach Serzo, and Matt Kraus. Following the podium presentations, reporters were invited to field questions to the coaches and their players at respective team tables. Rochester also provided food and refreshments for all involved. Beach, along with many of the coaches, expressed their hope that Media Day would continue as an annual event for the OAA. For more information on the OAA, including the conference calendar, you can visit their website. That's it for this edition of ONTV News. On behalf of the entire crew, I'm Sheryl Coonan.
And I'm Megan Peters. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on ONTV News.